How's it going, guys? John, the Basic Expert here, and in this week's video, I thought it would be fun to make a character in Classic Traveler. Now, Classic Traveler is one of those games that I think more people need to play. I don't think this game, and I have my original books here, it originally came in 3 little books, because I think Mark Miller even said they were playing lots of D&D over at Game Designers Workshop, and D&D originally came in 3 little books, so why not make Traveler in 3 books? And they kind of cover similar sort of things, you know. So you got book 1, which is characters and combat, book 2, which is starships, and book 3, which is worlds and adventure. And I really like the 77 version. A lot of you guys have talked about how you appreciate my previous Traveler videos where I was using the 81 rules. And while the 81 rules are really awesome, and you can still get them on DTRPG, I think, I really like the 77 rules a lot better. I think it's just a better... I think the original game was better before the updates. That's just my personal opinion. I do have the 2022 core rulebook update, and I've kind of been meaning to sort of do a comparison. I think it'd be an interesting video to do this. Like, what are some of the things that are in this that have carried over into the new 2022 book, and what are some things that are in the new 2022 book that are just sort of innovative and, you know, kind of alien, would be alien to this edition here. So let's make a character. We only need book 1 for this. And Traveler, Classic Traveler, you have the basic skills of strength, dexterity, endurance, intelligence, education, and social standing. We're going to roll a 2d6 for every score, and we're going to get it into a universal profile code for our character, which kind of, I think it explains it at the end here of this section. Page 8, universal personality profile. So, you know, sevens all the way across, and it uses a hexadecimal system of like a B that you can see here, 777B77. And each number is an ability score of the ones I just listed: strength, dexterity, endurance, intelligence, education, social standing. So we're going to do the same thing. We'll roll our dice, and we will figure out what kind of character we're going to be. And we might die in character creation, so who knows? That's pretty awesome. We have a 12 here, and 12 would be C for strength, so we'll put a C here. We'll roll for our dexterity next. Dang. On a 10, so that's an A. C-A. 7 for endurance, so average endurance. 8 for intelligence. And not very educated fellow. 4. He's like a country boy. 4 for education, and we got 7 for social standing, so pretty average social standing. So now that we got our code here, I really like the way that, you know, codes work, where it's just, once you memorize what each number is, just having like a number there, and that I can fit it on an index card, to me is just, that's my preference for a game. I love simple games like this, but they're not necessarily rules light. Traveler, if you've ever looked at Classic Traveler, it is not a rules light game, so don't be fooled by a simple character sheet. The game is actually quite complex. So one thing we're going to do then is we're going to look at what our classes are, or what our prior service was, and this is where it kind of gets into a fun mini game for the character. So we got these different fields or careers we can go into. We got Navy, Marines, Army, Scouts, Merchants, and other. And based on our skills, we're going to be better at certain things than other things. And I think I might try for Marines, even though it's hard. Marines get cool skills, cool abilities. So I have an 8 intelligence and a very high strength, so I'm going to get the bonuses of +3 to the enrollment of 9. I have to roll a 9 or more. That's what the 9 plus means. So let's try it. So 2d6 plus 3. and we just barely get into the Marines. So probably because he's not very well educated. He just barely got in. They just saw how strong he was, and they're like, yeah, we'll let him in. But it's not just that. We have to try and survive. So my endurance isn't quite as high, so I don't get the bonus of +2 to endurance. And this is where my character potentially can die. So if I don't roll a 6 or more, this character's dying. And he's dead. There you go. That's how Traveler character creation can be. So we're going to scribble this out. We'll do it again. So strength, not quite as good. So we got 7. 7 for dexterity. Oh, 3 for endurance. Not very squishy fellow. 2 for intelligence. Oh boy. Education. He's a very well-educated idiot. So he's like most people that went to college, I guess. 9 for education. He's so educated, he's dumb. And social standing, we have 9 as well. He's a fairly high... He's not quite like nobility, but he's got a high social standing. He's not very bright, and he's overly educated. So this guy is like perfect academia, I guess. So let's look, and we'll try and see what we can get into here with our character. We could try for Navy. We could do Army. We would do well in the Army. We could go for Scouts. We wouldn't do well in Merchants. I don't think we're smart enough for Merchants. You need a 6+ for Merchants. Well, maybe we'll do Army. Army is like pretty much the easiest one to get into, and we're going to be able to get the +3 bonus because our dexterity is 6 or more, and our endurance. We'll only get the +1. Our endurance is only 3, so we'll get the +1 there. I think it's still the best that we're going to get out of any of these. So as far as like the skills that I think I want for this character. So we're going to roll 2d6 +1. Got to get 5 or more. And we're in. We got 9. So we're in the Army. Let's roll to survive. We got an education +6 for survival. So +2 because we have 6 or more. So we roll 2d6. We got to roll 5 or more to survive. Dead. Kind of glad because I didn't really like those scores. So let's try again. So strength is a 4. Endurance is 11, so it's a B. Dexterity is an 11. Endurance is 5. And then intelligence is 7, average intelligence. Education is 10, so A. Pretty well educated fellow. And we got 8 for social standing. Once again, let's go look at these scores, so what we can be as far as this character is concerned. Let's look at our scores here. So our intelligence is 7. We're not in our education. We'd get a +2 if we wanted to try and be Navy. Our intelligence isn't quite, surprisingly. Mark Miller had very high intelligence 8+ for Marines. He had a very high view of Marines. I won't say any more on that. I'm just kidding. Army dexterity is 6 with B, and endurance is 5. So we might want to try Army again because then we get the full +3. Scouts' intelligence is 6 and strength. We're not good with that, and Merchant is not good either. So I think we're going to want to try Army again. So we'll get the full +3, and we have to beat 5, which is the lowest number. I think it's probably the best way to go. So we get 6 + 3, we got 9. So we're in the Army. Education. We will get the education bonus because we have a a high education, so we'll have a +2 to survival. And so we got 7 with the +2, so we're able to survive. We should check to see if we become commissioned. Endurance is 7. We're not going to get bonus for +1, so we just roll 2. We're not going to get a commission, therefore we won't get a promotion. And we should see if we can re-enlist. And we will just be able to re-enlist in the army. So I'm going to say terms 1. So far, we got to pick these abilities. So or what skills and stuff we get. So for the initial term of service, we get 2, and then upon receiving a commission and upon receiving, we didn't get any of this stuff. We didn't get a commission. We didn't get a promotion. So we will try to see what happens when we get our abilities. So we got to pick from a table. So we have the personal development, service skills, advanced education, and advanced education. We have to have an education of 8 or more. And I definitely have an education of 8 or more with a 10, an A here. So I could go all the way to here and get one of these if I wanted to. I think what I will do is I'll do one first roll on the personal development, and we'll do the second roll on the service skills. I think that's probably the best. So we'll do personal development is 2. So our dexterity increases by 1, which it's already very high. So now we have a C. And then we will do the service table, which is 4, which is blade combat. So we can pick a weapon for, or like a skill with a weapon. And I'm going to go back to the gear here. And I'm going to go for a cutlass. I'm going to give him cutlass 1. Cutlass 1. And also, I should look at what different services come with different things. So I already get rifle 1 for being an army. And then if I get commissioned, and so I get the first level, I think lieutenant, I'll get SMG. So he has cutlass 1 and rifle 1. We're able to get back in, so now we just go straight to survival for the army, and we roll 2d6 plus 2. And we survive with 9, so we're very, very survivable. Let's see if we can get a commission. We'll just roll 2d6. Hopefully we get a 5 or more. We get it. So we get the first rank of lieutenant. He's lieutenant. And that means we're going to get a bonus skill here is for this as well. So we get one skill for the term of service, and we got a commission, so we get another skill. So we get 2 skills again. I think what I will do is I will do... I'd like to get my strength up or my endurance up. So I'm going to do 1 roll on personal development, and we'll do a roll on advanced education here. So we'll do this one first. 6. I'm getting all these, so my education is increased by 1. Which means it's at B now. Or 11. And we need to get 1 more here for on the advanced table. 5. 5 is more blade combat. I'm just going to make this cutlass 2 then. This is cutlass 2. And we'll see if we can re-enlist. 6. So we do not re-enlist. This character's done. He's had 2 terms, which means he's 26 years old. That's how old he is. So all I'd have to do is name him, and oh, I got to muster out. So that's the next thing we got to do too. So let's look at the mustering out rules. We're not quite done yet. We got to muster out. So let's look at the mustering out rules. So when a character leaves the service for any reason, he's eligible for mustering out benefits. The two mustering out tables indicate the nature of those benefits. Table 1 provides travel, education, blah, blah, blah. One benefit roll is allowed for each term of service served. Additionally, a character who has received a rank of 1 or 2 receives 1 extra roll. A character who has received a rank of 3 or 4 receives 2 extra rolls, and a character of rank 5 or 6 receives 2 extra rolls, and may add 1 to his die roll when consulting table 1. So I'm going to get 3 rolls on the mustering out table because I got rank 1 and I've served 2 terms. So then we go to the mustering out table, which is here. And I don't have to worry about some of the rules. Like, you can only do a certain amount on either table, I believe on the money table, if I remember correctly. A character is free to choose whether he consults table 1 or 2 or both, and in what proportion, but in no case is a character allowed to consult table 2 more than 3 times. So you can't do this one more than 3 times. I don't have to worry about that necessarily because I'm probably going to still want to go one of these, at least one of these, and some money. So let's roll. Let's do one of these. So 2 intelligence plus 1. So we're at 8. Slightly above average intelligence. We'll do some money here. So we'll roll a d6. 3. It's 10,000 credits. Yep. This pen is like crappy. 10,000 credits. We'll do another one on the top here for the third and final one. 2. Intelligence of 9. So I'm going to rewrite his score here. So we have 4C, 5, 9, B8. And he has Cutlass 2. And I won't do it here, but what I would then allow my players to do next after doing this is come to the gear section over here, and I would let them start to pick. I would let them use like the 10,000 credits they've earned here to start purchasing equipment. Like maybe I like this character, I'd buy him a Cutlass and I'd buy him a rifle for sure. The magazines for that, as well as maybe like some applications to this, such as like a telescopic sight or something like that, folding stock, things to make the rifle more compact. What's interesting is one little side rule that I do for homebrew. This is the one homebrew, not rules as written thing that I do, and I know that people are going to stand aghast at this, but I allow rifles to have silencers or suppressors. Rules as written, 3 little black book traveler. You can't put a silencer on a rifle. It says it's for pistols only. And I think that that's kind of silly because even at the time of writing this game, you could put suppressors and silencers on rifles and not just pistols. So I would think in the far future, where we have space travel, we would know how to suppress rifles at that point. I would hope. But that's what I would do. And, you got blades, different kinds of armor. I'd let them pick that. And actually in book 2, I think, equipment. You get more equipment in book 3, which would be beneficial to characters. That's where it was. So, I would also, with this 10,000 credits, I'd buy some personal devices and equipment like oxygen tanks, vision aids like IR goggles, binoculars, flashlights, carpentry tools, chainsaws, a bullhorn, a hand calculator, a hand computer, radios, shelters, and things like that. You can buy all kinds of stuff like this, and then you have basic stuff for what basic overhead is going to cost for a character. Even vehicles if you wanted to. I don't think with 10,000 I can afford that, but those options are there if you somehow earned enough money or through the course of play you're able to get that. But definitely some of this other stuff here of like food, equipment, beyond just weapons and armor, I'd also get from book 3. But there's our character. I would name him, and we're good to go. 26-year-old, 2 terms, a lieutenant with Cutlass 2 and Rifle 1. He's pretty much only useful for fighting, I guess. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope that this was fun. 2 deaths before we get a character, but that's what makes Classic Traveler fun. So if you can imagine making, and this has happened at my tables when we've played Classic Traveler, like doing this at the table and then having characters die while you're at character creation is fun. And I do think that while you do this, it's it sets the tone for the game, that this is a deadly game, that this game is old school, and that like you're gonna have to be smart in combat. You can't just mess around. You gotta take it intelligently. You gotta take tactics into real consideration, and whether or not it's worth it to get into a fight, whether in a spaceship or on the ground, planet side, or in a space station, wherever you're at. As soon as you're in combat, the risk of death is really there. And I think that just allowing your characters to die at character creation, as part of the process of it, really sets the proper tone for, I think, what this game is about. So I'll link to a video here if you want to watch it. I think that if you want to get more into Traveler, watch this video, because I think that this book is one that you need to read in order to fully understand Traveler. It's one of the main books that you need to read, and that's Space Viking. So make sure you watch that video. I talk about it there. That's going to do it for this video. If you want to support the channel, consider supporting right here on YouTube, on my Patreon page, where I am posting Creative Commons art. So if you want to support that, I'm trying to put a pen and ink doodle from my sketchbook in the Creative Commons under the CC BY 4.0, which means you can use it even commercially. If you want to support that work and that endeavor of mine, and you believe in that, it means a lot to me. You could help me put 300 plus images in the Creative Commons for as little as $12 a year, and that's like nothing. And I think for me, I'm trying to provide a solution to people that want to make products. They want to make supplements, but they don't want to use AI art. They don't want to have to be forced to use it. And so if I'm able to provide some awesome black and white artwork for you, or at least some decent black and white art for you for free, because hiring an artist is hard, you can support there. And you get other perks to the channel as well, videos ahead of time, and lots of other goodies like that. So make sure you check that out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. It means a lot. I'd love to hear about your character creation stories in Classic Traveler in the comment section below if you have any. Until the next video, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.